Hello again and welcome to Money Matters. Hong Kong's fitness industry is worth over $3 billion with roughly 180 clubs in the territory. But after being shut for 4 months this year due to COVID-19, many have closed permanently. Others struggle to stay open. How are these survivors coping and what steps are they taking to ensure their future growth? So I see you put these screens up. When did these come up in your club?
So these we put in just before our first reopening. And, we wanted to make sure that people, when they came to a cardio session, because you're breathing heavily and there's a lot of sweat, that they felt comfortable with somebody working out next to them.
Adjusting the space in the gym has meant more sanitizing stations and fewer touch points.
So temperature checks here. The membership card is touchless, so there's no touch. So no touch here, travel declaration, and then you have the distancing here, so someone would stand here, and then the next person here, so it's very safe.
Gyms have been open for just over a month, and members are starting to come back as restrictions on wearing masks while working out are coming down. But during the 4-month shutdown, Colin says there was no revenue coming in, so everyone took a pay cut.
We've all made sacrifices in terms of pay. That we needed to do that as an organization to get through the current crisis. And hopefully, in the coming months, we can revert back.
During the closure, they suspended monthly fees and offered free online classes to members and non-members alike to keep the community engaged. They had 10,000 to 12,000 online attendees a day, not as many as their usual 20,000 plus daily visits to the gym, but the online platform is here to stay.
We offered about 60 or 70 live classes a day. I think going forward in our industry, to be successful, you've got to marry the online with the offline.
Their gyms in Shanghai and Beijing were the first in the world to close and the first to reopen. Colin takes what's happening there as a cue of what will follow in Hong Kong.
Those clubs were seeing record check-ins and very strong sign-ups. After this, they want to exercise, they want to eat well.
According to analysts, COVID has increased fitness consumption in Hong Kong and China by pushing the industry further online. Gym memberships might not be growing, but app usage is, as more people are taking their workouts home with them.
Downloads for this app keep increased by 205% just from December to February. So that's growing threefold in a 2-month span. A lot of people were doing video workouts. So the video platform, Bilibili, it saw a 200% increase in people watching fitness videos online. So this really shows that people were taking their fitness life or starting a fitness life online and finding those videos, finding those apps that work for them during the pandemic.
Analyst Alison Malmstom says the trend in China may be ahead of the curve. Free fitness apps there make money from selling fitness apparel, equipment, in-person classes, and special training. A potential sign of things to come here. Did a lot of people use this?
With my coaching app, I can track how many people check in and check out, how many finish their program, when is the last day they log in, what time of the day they use it.
This app is interactive. It allows clients working out remotely to share their video so the coach can check their form and tweak it. Ka-hei Tse, a co-founder of this fitness studio, created a 30-day program for clients while they couldn't come to the gym.
So if you can see that, she's on the flywheel training machine, an eccentric box, and every rep she do, I will have the meter here showing how much power she produced and what weight she's using.
Clients can buy equipment like this with an app that allows for remote coaching. Ka-hei's partner, Marco Ferdinandi, says that even though they just opened their gym in March, they've been doing well. The gym is for clients who want to take small group classes. It's also a training academy for coaches who pay a membership fee to use the space and take the courses.
We've been closed more often than we've been open in the last 6 months, but in spite of that, we have more than 100 athletes in our SPC program. We have more than 100 coaches that have signed on for our membership program.
Clients, who they refer to as athletes, pay on a class-by-class basis or take class packages rather than a membership. Marco says the idea was to give people more flexibility so they wouldn't feel locked in.
We encourage people to do other things. We have no issues if they want to join a yoga studio or do Pilates, or we want people to feel empowered, to learn and to train.
Given the uncertainty of staying open during the pandemic, they began offering equipment packages for people to use at home and pair with a training app. Marco says about 25% of clients bought equipment during the second closure.
The K-Box and the K-Bully, and they're two items that you can put in your home, fit in a Hong Kong apartment, and still do a very complete strength workout. If you want to work on your mobility and coordination, you might use a Sheena board and Indian clubs. We'll educate you on how to do it, and then you can follow our training app to execute it.
Flexibility to work out from home or at different studios to try a variety of workouts is a growing trend in China.
Classes are a trend, but also I think in general it's really flexibility. So it's the fact that you don't have to commit to anything, but then also when you register for a gym, or when you register for a class, it's just depending on where you are.
Karen Lim agrees. The flexibility her studio has built into its fitness programs has increased revenue as the pandemic forced them online. Her on-demand video content that she created during the closure allowed her greater reach both in and out of the Hong Kong market.
Our on-demand revenue, I would like to say it has grown perhaps 50%. It's $15 US a month. And you can view as many videos as you want, as many times a day as you want. It's totally something really affordable, really accessible.
She also ran live stream classes during the closure, which allowed her to have more than the maximum 14 students she normally has in her studio. And for clients who share their screens with her, she's able to give them immediate feedback on their form.
It's really convenient for clients. They can jump out of a meeting at 6 and join a class at 6:15, for example. They do not have to commute over here. A lot of clients like the flexibility, and they like how we're able to then modify and tailor the classes, the exercise for them. Even though we're on screen, we can still, hey, say, see, now move your hips just a tiny bit, or come down a little bit lower, see if you feel that.
Her pay-per-class or class package, combined with on-demand and live stream, have given clients flexibility. Local clients are able to use a mix and match of studio classes plus live stream or on-demand, meaning many exercise more than they used to.
I think that everyone has found a way to function efficiently, virtually. Or I think there will be some sort of virtual element added to their workout schedule. We also see that going forward, there will be perhaps more like smaller class sizes going forward.
The gyms and studios say they see members exercising more as they combine in-person workouts with home workouts. Allison says she sees a trend of fitness apps becoming more social, as they are in China, where people share their progress, workout tips, nutrition tips, and of course, photos and videos. Those gyms that are able to adopt this are likely those who will flourish post-pandemic.
Talk about thriving on others' misfortune. A bill in the U.S. Congress has stalled that, if passed, would delist Chinese companies from U.S. stock exchanges. It may be swallowed up amid the Supreme Court confirmation fight, in turn swallowing up the potential for Hong Kong exchanges and clearing to top up its IPO pipeline. The prevailing logic says the successful passage of the bill would clog up the local IPO pipeline with departing U.S.-listed Chinese companies that prefer second listings outside the mainland. Hong Kong's stock market would be the first on the list for many of them. If the SAR picked up all the potentially delisted companies, EBITDA would surge 30%. If the bill is stalled, then the pipeline won't need any new plumbing. Supreme Court justices spent time discussing restaurant menus, keyboards, songs, and even the periodic table in trying to resolve a copyright dispute between tech giants Google and Oracle. The case has to do with Google's creation of the Android operating system now used in most smartphones worldwide. In developing Android, Google used some of Oracle's computer code. Well, search for the code on Google, couldn't find any? It's a dispute that's worth billions and important to the future of software. The World Bank says up to 150 million people could slip into extreme poverty, living on less than $1.90 US per day by late next year, depending on how badly economies shrink during the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 3/4 of the new extreme poor are expected to be in middle-income countries such as India, Nigeria, and Indonesia. Many will be more educated urban residents, meaning cities will see an increase in the kind of poverty traditionally rooted in rural areas. The bank's baseline estimate says at least 110 million people will join the extreme poor.
After the break, a look at how one local heritage building has been restored to bring back interest and visitors. Stay with us. Welcome back to Money Matters. Heritage buildings reflect the history of a city, but they're also slowly disappearing as urbanization continues to replace the old with the new. Getting the balance can be tricky, and designers who see their value are working hard to revitalize Hong Kong's architectural heirlooms.
Tai Kwun. Former Central Police Station compound includes 3 declared monuments: the Central Police Station, the former Central Magistracy, and Victoria Prison. The oldest structure is the Magistrate's House, built in 1841. The architectural style is Victorian. The structure once had 3 stories. An extra floor was added in 1905 due to the increasing demand for police accommodation. In 1995, the compound was classified as a heritage site. The project to revitalize the compound came with many limitations because the structure of the buildings had to be kept intact.
As you know, this was all part of a area of Hong Kong which had the police, the magistracy. This was the officers' mess, so where the police and the army were housed, and this level was the officers' mess. We were very fortunate to get this location, and we wanted to make it into quite a special destination as a restaurant, so that people could experience the colonial feel and experience the beauty of being in Central.
Simon says designers had to work around the constraints of the antiquities because they were not allowed to change a thing. He said the designers used the beauty of the building and the breadth of history to give customers a memorable experience.
We wanted to show the brickwork, and what happened then, we cleaned the brickwork to the old style, and then we sealed it so that it doesn't fall off or flake, and therefore it allows us to just see the history of all the decades and decades of life that was here.
The designers also found a new way of hanging lights, paintings, and spotlights.
What we've done with the walls is that we've got the special way to hang paintings. So we don't put nails in the wall, but we can hang it off a wire. And so we've found a way to display art in a different way.
The 8,000 square foot restaurant occupies the entire top floor of the barracks block and is divided into an east wing and a west wing. Altering the building structure is not allowed, so designers created different themes in each of the 6 rooms within the restaurant. Inspiration for this dining room was a typical Paris cafe with tall timber ceilings, original brick walls, and dark teak floors to create an atmosphere of the 20s.
Green sofas with the velvet and the marble and on the tabletops. And of course, you've got the height of the ceiling. So it's reminiscent of Europe in Shanghai in the 20s, but with a modern feel because of the artwork. But in the middle, you have the big palm. And it's quite iconic for that room because it makes people realize the height of the ceiling. And it looks at the bit more drama because of it.
After dinner, customers can enjoy a drink here in the bar. The red and blue leather chairs create a mood of an English pub.
We've used much more leather in the Fu Bar, and we want those chairs to feel a bit more luxurious, and it's older, and you've got the reflection of the colonial past of leather chairs and also the aged feel of old leather.
And the designers use some tropical animals as a focus in the room.
Just trying to find something a bit more special and something as a focus in that room. And we found this peacock. The feathers are so beautiful, and the color of the feathers, and it can be lit. And so we thought we would put it on the outside of a bird cage rather than the inside of a bird cage.
The barracks block has a wide corridor on each floor that allows for better ventilation during the hot summer.
Well, we're very fortunate that we have the width here to put these sofas, which are a bit more traditional in style. And there's the two verandas with different colors and different types of sofas as well. One we've done a bit more French style with wood and velvet and casual. And the other side is more a bit more modern, but it's still velvet, still width of the corridor. We wanted another experience for people to have outdoor dining, but undercover with these high ceilings and these arches. And we put in the fans, the ceiling fans, which are quite traditional, but it gives you air, it gives you a cool feeling, and then you've got the view of the parade ground.
The name of this lounge was inspired by one of the products on sale, whiskey.
Historically, men like to drink whiskey, so we just called it a whiskey room and started to think about different themes. We've got different rooms which people use at different times, some a bit more masculine, some a bit more feminine.
Again, leather is used to convey the mood of the space, masculinity.
It's a bit more brown, a bit more darker, warmer. The balance is, of course, on the other side, we've got the pink room, which is very feminine, which is completely over the top, very pink and beautiful, and the lighting is very light and warm as well, much more curved, so more intimate.
The soft edges of the furniture and the pink velvet match with the floral prints of the wallpaper and brickwork. A point of interest in this area are the tilted mirrors.
It's to show people rather than just reflect straight. So it gives you a different feel. It reflects from light and inside. So if you're sitting at the table and you reflect it, you can see what's in the courtyard or the old buildings or the roofs, and the mirrors work to give that sense of light. And you've got also the panels, which are in fact fabric and which hold up. So we wanted to reflect also what's on the walls, which are still the same sort of color scheme as here, pinks and blues and yellows.
The design of these two small rooms are less elaborate. An elongated table can accommodate 10 people, ideal for private dinners. Another room was inspired by the libraries of the 19th century.
It's a library luxury feel of sort of an older period, and to have a bookshelf is also quite normal in a library. We've also got things in it to do with art, to do with some sculptures, and it's just all a bit personal and quirky, as if it would be in your home, so that people can pick up a book and read it if they want to while they're waiting for their friends.
Simon says it was very challenging to renovate a 170-year-old heritage building, but through the efforts of his designers, the compound was revitalized with colonial grace. Trump trumped his detractors, flying back to the White House after only a few days in hospital, treating him for COVID-19. which has killed more than 200,000 people in the U.S. and more than 1 million worldwide. Not me, he contended, as he heaved himself out of the chopper, Marine One. Wearing a much-advised mask for a change, he marched to the White House and heaved up some steps. At the top, he paused, heaving, maskless, and urged America to be positive. Trump was treated at Walter Reed Medical Center by a team of doctors complete with experimental drugs. He declared himself virus-free, but then decided to start saluting vehicles. Watch the hair, mind the rotor wash, and salute. Hope this isn't a new COVID symptom. He's saluted Mounties before. All the best ones are from Canada. The Easter Bunny and, his bomber jacket? A Republican political insider at this Rose Garden ceremony asked a revealing question. Don't you think it's suspicious that Republicans are the ones in D.C. getting the virus? Good question.
I'm reluctant to comment on anything the president tells us. Listen to the scientists. Millions of lives and livelihoods are on the line.
And while Trump continued to salute random things, the vice presidential debate was trolled by a black fly, an insect who just wanted to go skiing. Was he Pence's one and only black friend? Does this mean the Veep now supports Black Flies Matter? There's no soup on this fly. He set the tone of the debate. He left politely after his 2 minutes were up. The motherland's game will never be the same. How does one play ping pong with a robot? What do you call a foul? A reboot? No, it's a table tennis training robot equipped with the latest technology like simulation human wrists and elbows. It can return all kinds of swerving and dipping balls, drives you around the bend. It can analyze minute human physical and emotional vitals. So do not marry it. Will it play the men's or the women's game? It's binary, stupid. Its name is Forpheus, because humans who try to beat it eventually forfeit.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Next week on Money Matters, we take a look at how the art industry in Hong Kong and China has been affected by COVID and how businesses are pivoting to the new normal to survive. See you then. Good night.